You think you can touch me? My father runs this entire city. One word from him, and you'll be directing traffic in a parking lot. Those words hang in the air like poison. The person who said them is standing in Providence Municipal Court. His name is Trevor Blackwood. He's 23 years old. He's wearing a North Face jacket that costs $800. His Nike Air Jordan sneakers are limited edition. They cost $900. His haircut alone probably costs more than the court filing fee. But none of that matters right now. What matters is what he did. And who he did it to. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. His face is calm, but his eyes tell a different story. They're studying Trevor Blackwood like a puzzle that doesn't quite fit together. Behind that calm face is a brain that's seen thousands of cases. Thousands of people. Rich ones, poor ones, honest ones, liars. But something about this case is different. If you believe that no one is above the law, no matter who their father is, you're going to want to see what happens in the next few minutes. Because what Judge Caprio does next will shock everyone in that courtroom, including Trevor Blackwood. Let me take you back to the beginning. The bailiff stands up. His uniform is pressed and perfect. His voice cuts through the quiet courtroom like a knife. Case number 2025, TR 84629. The State versus Trevor James Blackwood. Charges include reckless driving, resisting arrest, assault on a police officer, and contempt of court from a previous hearing. People in the gallery sit up straighter. Assault on a police officer? That's serious. Real serious. Phones go into pockets. Whispers stop. Everyone wants to hear this. Judge Caprio looks at his papers. He reads for a moment. Then he looks up. Mr. Blackwood, please approach the bench. Trevor doesn't move. He's sitting in the front row with his lawyer. His arms are crossed. His face shows nothing but boredom. Like he's waiting for a bus. Like this is just another annoying thing he has to do today. His lawyer touches his arm. Trevor, you need to stand. Trevor sighs. It's long and loud. Everyone hears it. He stands up slowly. Too slowly. Like his body weighs 1,000 pounds. He walks to the defendant's table. Each step is lazy. Disrespectful. He finally stops in front of the judge. Good morning, Mr. Blackwood, Judge Caprio says. His voice is professional. Kind even. Do you understand the charges against you? Trevor shrugs. One shoulder goes up, then down. I guess. You guess. Judge Caprio's eyebrows go up just a little. These are serious charges. You need to understand them fully. Have you reviewed them with your attorney? Yeah, whatever. We talked. Trevor pulls out his phone. Right there. In front of the judge. His thumb moves across the screen. The bailiff steps forward. Sir, phones are not allowed during proceedings. Trevor doesn't look up. I'm just checking something real quick. Judge Caprio's voice gets firmer. Mr. Blackwood, put the phone away. Now. Trevor looks up. For the first time, he makes eye contact with the judge. His eyes are cold, empty, like looking into a frozen lake. He holds the judge's stare for 3 full seconds. Then he puts the phone in his pocket. Slowly, making a point. Thank you, Judge Caprio says. Now, let's discuss why you're here. On March 19th, you were pulled over on Benefit Street. Officer Rodriguez observed you driving 65 miles per hour in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. Is that correct? That's what they say. Trevor's voice is flat. No emotion. Officer Rodriguez activated his lights. You didn't stop for 8 blocks. You ran 2 red lights. You nearly hit a pedestrian crossing the street. Then you finally stopped in the parking lot of St. Mary's Church. Do I have that right? Trevor looks at his lawyer. His lawyer nods. Yes, Your Honor, Trevor says. But the way he says it makes it sound like he's doing everyone a favor. When Officer Rodriguez approached your vehicle, what happened? Judge Caprio asks. He was rude to me. He was rude to you. Judge Caprio repeats the words, letting them sit there. Can you be more specific? He came up to my window like I was some kind of criminal. He was all aggressive. I didn't like his tone. Judge Caprio looks at his papers again. According to the police report, Officer Rodriguez approached your vehicle and asked for your license and registration. You refused to provide them. You told him, and I quote, "Do you know who my father is?" Someone in the gallery laughs. Just once. Quick. Then silence. Trevor's jaw tightens. That's not what I said. We have body camera footage, Mr. Blackwood. Would you like me to play it? Trevor's lawyer stands up quickly. Your Honor, if I may. Sit down, counselor. I'm asking your client a question. Judge Caprio's eyes never leave Trevor. Would you like me to play the footage? Trevor's face goes red. Just a little. Around his cheeks. Fine. Whatever. I might have said something like that. You might have. Judge Caprio nods. Let's continue. After you refused to cooperate, Officer Rodriguez asked you to step out of the vehicle. What did you do? Silence. Mr. Blackwood. I stayed in my car. For how long? I don't know. A few minutes. Judge Caprio looks at the papers. 11 minutes. You stayed in your car for 11 minutes while Officer Rodriguez repeatedly asked you to exit. Then when you finally did get out, what happened? More silence. Mr. Blackwood, I'll ask again. What happened when you got out of the car? Trevor's hands ball into fists. He catches himself. Opens them. It was an accident. What was an accident? I pushed him. But I didn't mean to. He was in my space. I just wanted him to back up. A woman in the gallery gasps. Soft. But in the quiet courtroom, it sounds like a gunshot. Judge Caprio leans forward. You pushed a police officer. Barely. It wasn't even hard. He's being dramatic about it. Officer Rodriguez is 47 years old. He's been on the force for 22 years. He's received 7 commendations for bravery. He's a father of 3. And you pushed him because you wanted him to back up. He shouldn't have been in my face. Trevor's voice rises. Getting defensive. He was doing his job. Judge Caprio's voice stays level. Calm. But there's steel underneath. Now, before we discuss the assault charge further, I want to address something else. This isn't your first time in my courtroom, is it? Trevor shifts his weight. Left foot to right foot. No. 3 months ago, you were here for a similar offense. Reckless driving. You were going 50 in a school zone. Do you remember? Vaguely. Vaguely. Judge Caprio picks up another file. Let me refresh your memory. You were clocked at 52 miles per hour. It was 3:15 in the afternoon. School had just let out. Children were everywhere. Crossing guards were on duty. You blew past all of them. I was late for something. You were late for something. Judge Caprio sets the file down. I gave you a warning that day. Do you remember what I said? Trevor says nothing. I said that if I ever saw you in my courtroom again for reckless driving, the consequences would be severe. I said that next time, there would be no warning. No second chance. Do you remember that? I guess. You guess. Judge Caprio takes off his glasses. He cleans them with a cloth from his desk. It's slow, methodical. The whole courtroom watches. He puts them back on. Mr. Blackwood, let me tell you about the victim in this case. The pedestrian you nearly hit on March 19th. Her name is Elena Vasquez. She's 68 years old. She worked as a nurse at Rhode Island Hospital for 43 years. She just retired last year. She takes care of her husband. He has Parkinson's disease. Every Tuesday and Thursday, she walks to the pharmacy on Hope Street to pick up his medication. March 19th was a Thursday. Trevor's foot taps. Fast. Impatient. Mrs. Vasquez was crossing Benefit Street. She was in the crosswalk. She had the walk signal. The light was red. You were going so fast that when you swerved to avoid her, your car jumped the curb. You missed her by 3 feet. 3 feet, Mr. Blackwood. Do you understand what that means? I didn't hit her. You didn't hit her. Judge Caprio's voice gets quieter, which somehow makes it louder. You're right. You didn't. But do you know why Mrs. Vasquez is not here today? Trevor shrugs. She's in the hospital. When her car jumped that curb, she fell backward trying to get away. She broke her hip. She broke her wrist. She hit her head on the sidewalk. She spent 3 days in the ICU. The same ICU where she used to work, where her friends still work. They were the ones taking care of her. The courtroom is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Trevor's foot stops tapping. His face doesn't change, but something in his eyes shifts. Just for a second, Mrs. Vasquez has medical bills totaling $73,000. She needs surgery. She needs physical therapy. She can't take care of her husband right now. He's in a nursing facility temporarily. That costs money they don't have. All because you were in a hurry. Look, Trevor says. His voice has an edge now. Sharp. I'm sorry she got hurt. But it was an accident. I didn't mean for that to happen. And technically, I didn't even touch her. She fell on her own. The room erupts. Not loud, but there are sounds. Sharp breaths. A man in the back row stands up. The bailiff looks at him. He sits back down, but his fists are clenched. Judge Caprio raises his hand. The room goes quiet again. You're right. Technically, you didn't touch her, but you caused it. Your actions, your choices, your reckless behavior. That's called consequences, Mr. Blackwood. And today, you're going to learn about them. Yeah, well. Trevor crosses his arms. Good luck with that. Excuse me. I said good luck. You think you're going to teach me some big lesson? You think a fine is going to change anything? My family has money. Lots of it. A fine is nothing. A joke. I'll write a check and walk out of here. Judge Caprio stares at him. 5 full seconds. Is that what you think this is about? Money. That's what everything is about. Trevor smirks. Actually smirks. That's how the world works. You pay. You leave. You move on. Mr. Blackwood, let me ask you something. Have you ever worked a day in your life? I work. Doing what? I manage investments. Your family's investments. Trevor hesitates. Yeah. So you've never had a job where you had to show up at a certain time. Clock in. Take orders from a boss. Work 8 hours. Clock out. Go home tired. Wake up the next day and do it again. That's not my fault. You're right. It's not your fault. You were born into privilege. That's luck, not achievement. But what you do with that privilege, that's on you. And so far, you've done nothing but waste it. Worse than waste it. You've used it as a weapon, a shield. You think it makes you special, untouchable. You think your father's position protects you from consequences. It does. Trevor says it so casually, like he's stating a fact, like saying the sky is blue. Judge Caprio's face changes, just slightly. His mouth gets tighter. What did you just say? You heard me. My dad is the police chief. He runs the entire department. Every cop in this city works for him, including the one I pushed, including anyone who would ever arrest me. So yeah, I'm protected. The courtroom explodes. Not physically, but the energy changes. It's like lightning just struck. People lean forward. Eyes go wide. Someone's pen falls to the floor. The sound echoes. Judge Caprio's voice cuts through it all. Bailiff, I need order. The bailiff doesn't have to do anything. Everyone goes quiet on their own. They don't want to miss what happens next. Mr. Blackwood, Judge Caprio says slowly. Are you telling me that you believe you're above the law because your father is the police chief? I'm saying that's how it is. Reality. Trevor's getting bolder now. Stupider. You want to make an example of me? Go ahead. Try. See what happens. My dad plays golf with the governor. He has dinner with the mayor. One phone call and your re-election campaign is over. One phone call and you're off this bench. Trevor's lawyer grabs his arm. Hard. Trevor, stop talking. Right now. Trevor shakes him off. Why? He needs to hear this. Everyone needs to hear this. I'm not like the regular people who come through here. I'm different. That's just how it is. Different. Judge Caprio repeats the word. Tasting it. You think you're different. I know I am. Because of your father. Because of my family. Our name. Our connections. Our money. Yeah. Judge Caprio writes something down. His hand moves across the paper. Slow. Careful. Court clerk, please note that the defendant has stated on record that he believes his father's position places him above the law. The clerk's fingers fly across her keyboard. Noted, Your Honor. Also note that the defendant has threatened this court with political retaliation. Noted. Trevor's lawyer is sweating now. Actual beads of sweat on his forehead. He whispers something to Trevor. Trevor waves him off. Your Honor, the lawyer says, standing up. My client is upset. He doesn't mean. Sit down, counselor. Your client knows exactly what he means. Don't you, Mr. Blackwood? Yeah, I do. Trevor's voice is loud now. Confident. He thinks he's winning. He thinks he's in control. You want to know what else? That cop, Rodriguez. He's been talked to. My dad had a conversation with him. About how maybe he overreacted. About how maybe his report was exaggerated. About how maybe he should consider changing his statement. The room goes completely still. No one breathes. No one moves. Are you saying, Judge Caprio's voice is deadly quiet, that your father attempted to intimidate a witness? I'm saying my father is a smart man. He knows how to handle situations. Judge Caprio looks at someone in the back of a courtroom. A man stands up. He's wearing a police uniform, but not a regular one. His uniform has more decorations, more pins. He walks down the aisle. His boots are loud on the tile floor. "Officer Rodriguez," Judge Caprio says. "Please approach." The officer comes forward. He stands next to the prosecutor's table. He's shorter than Trevor, but there's something solid about him. Like a tree. Like something that doesn't move in storms. "Officer Rodriguez, you've heard the defendant's statements. Do you have anything to say?" Officer Rodriguez looks at Trevor. Really looks at him. His eyes are sad. Disappointed. "Yes, Your Honor. Chief Blackwood did contact me. 3 times. First by phone. Then by email. Then in person. He asked me to soften my report. He said his son made a mistake. He said boys will be boys. He asked me to consider his son's future." "And what did you tell him?" "I told him no. I told him my report was accurate. I told him I have kids too. And if someone hurt them the way his son hurt Mrs. Vasquez, I'd want justice. I told him the badge means something. The oath means something. And I wasn't going to violate either one." Trevor's face changes. The confidence drains out of it like water from a bathtub. His eyes get wider. His mouth opens just a little. "Thank you, Officer Rodriguez. You can return to your seat." Judge Caprio waits until the officer sits down. Then he turns back to Trevor. "Mr. Blackwood, you've just confirmed that your father attempted to interfere with a police investigation. That's a crime. A serious one. The prosecutor's office will be receiving a copy of this transcript." Trevor's lawyer stands up fast. His chair scrapes the floor. "Your Honor, I need to request a recess. I need to speak with my client. He's clearly not in state to." "Request denied. Sit down." Judge Caprio's voice is steel. "We're going to finish this. Right now." The lawyer sits. He looks defeated, like he knows what's coming. Judge Caprio opens a folder. He pulls out papers. Photographs. "Let's discuss the evidence. Exhibit A is body camera footage from Officer Rodriguez. In it, we see you refuse to exit your vehicle for 11 minutes. We hear you say, 'Do you know who my father is?' 6 times. 6 times, Mr. Blackwood. Like it's a magic spell. Like those words can make laws disappear." He holds up a photograph. Exhibit B is a still from that footage. This is the moment you push Officer Rodriguez. Your hand is on his chest. He stumbles backward. You can see it clearly. Not accidental. Not a brush. A push. With force. Another photograph. Exhibit C is Mrs. Vasquez's medical report. Fractured hip. Broken wrist. Concussion. Treatment costs totaling $73,412. More papers. Exhibit D is a transcript of text messages between you and your friend Brandon Chun. Sent the day after the incident. Let me read some highlights. You wrote, "Just got into it with a cop. Whatever. Dad will handle it." Your friend writes, "Dude, you need to chill." You write back, "Why? Nothing's going to happen. It never does." Trevor's face is red now. Bright red. His hands shake just a little. Exhibit E is your social media. Your Instagram account. You posted a photo 2 days after the incident. You're at club. Champagne bottle in hand. The caption says, "Haters gonna hate. Winner's gonna win." You tagged the location. You were celebrating, while Mrs. Vasquez was in the hospital. Someone in the gallery makes a sound. Disgust. Pure disgust. Exhibit F is call logs. Your father's phone. He called Officer Rodriguez's supervisor. He called the mayor's office. He called 3 city council members. He called the prosecutor's office. All within 48 hours of your arrest. All trying to make this go away. Judge Caprio spreads all the evidence out on his bench. Like cards in a game. This isn't just about a traffic violation, Mr. Blackwood. This is about a pattern. A pattern of reckless behavior. A pattern of entitlement. A pattern of using your family name as a weapon. And most disturbing of all, a pattern of facing no consequences. Until today. Trevor tries to speak. His mouth moves, but nothing comes out. "Let me tell you something about your father," Judge Caprio says. "I've known Chief Blackwood for 15 years. He's a good police chief. He's reduced crime. He's improved community relations. He's done excellent work. But in this situation, he failed. He failed as a leader. He failed as an example. And most of all, he failed as a father. Because instead of teaching you responsibility, he taught you that you're exempt from it. Judge Caprio stands up. He's not tall, but right now he seems 10 feet high. You said I can't touch you. You said your father's connections protect you. You think one phone call will end my career. Let me tell you something, Trevor James Blackwood. I've been a judge for 37 years. 37 years. I've seen people like you before. Rich kids who think money buys immunity. Connected kids who think power means protection. And you know what happens to all of them eventually? Reality catches up. Today is your reality. The room is frozen. No one dares move. Here's what you don't understand, Judge Caprio continues. The law isn't about who you know. It's not about who your father is. It's not about how much money you have. The law is supposed to be blind, equal, fair. And in my courtroom, it is, every single time. No exceptions. He sits back down. He pulls his sentencing papers closer. Trevor James Blackwood, you have been found responsible for reckless driving, resisting arrest, and assault on a police officer. The court will now impose sentence. Trevor's breathing gets faster. You can see his chest moving up and down. Quick. Shallow. Let's start with the financial penalty. You're ordered to pay $22,500 in fines and court costs. Trevor barely reacts. $22,000 is nothing to him. It's a car payment. Maybe. You're also ordered to pay full restitution to Elena Vasquez. That's $73,412. To be paid within 30 days. Trevor's jaw tightens. That's real money. Even for him. Your driver's license is suspended for 180 days. 6 months. No driving. No exceptions. No hardship permit. If you're caught behind the wheel of any vehicle during this time, you'll be arrested immediately. Now Trevor's face shows something. Fear. Real fear. No car for 6 months? How will he get around? Uber like a regular person? You'll complete 300 hours of community service. But not just any community service. Judge Caprio pauses. You're going to work as a crossing guard. At Washington Elementary School. On Benefit Street. The same street where you nearly killed Mrs. Vasquez. Every school day. Rain or shine. Hot or cold. 6:30 in the morning until 8:30. Then 3 o'clock until 4:30 in the afternoon. You'll help children cross the street safely. You'll make sure no one speeds through that zone. You'll wear a bright orange vest with community service written on the back. You'll carry a stop sign. And you'll smile at every single child and parent who passes by. Trevor's mouth falls open. Completely open. You can't be serious. I'm completely serious. You'll report to Captain Morrison at the police station. He'll supervise your service personally. He'll sign off on every single hour. If you're late, that day doesn't count. If you're rude, that day doesn't count. If you're on your phone, that day doesn't count. You'll do this until you complete all 300 hours. However long that takes. This is insane, Trevor says. His voice cracks. I'm not doing that. Yes, you are. Because if you don't, you'll be held in contempt. And contempt means jail time. Real jail time. Not house arrest. Not a nice facility. County jail. With a cellmate. With a metal toilet. With food you wouldn't feed to a dog. Is that what you want? Trevor says nothing. But we're not done. Judge Caprio picks up another paper. You're going to write a letter of apology to Mrs. Vasquez. Not typed. Handwritten. At least 1,000 words. You're going to explain what you did. Why it was wrong. What you learned. And you're going to read it out loud to her. In person. At a time and place of her choosing. If she wants to do it here in court with everyone watching, that's what will happen. If she wants to do it in her hospital room, you'll go there. She gets to decide. Not you. Trevor's hands ball into fists. You can't make me. Yes, I can. And I am. Judge Caprio's voice is firm. Final. You're also going to create a public service announcement. A video. You'll write it. You'll film it. You'll post it on all your social media accounts. The same accounts where you post pictures of champagne bottles and fancy cars. You'll explain what you did. You'll talk about the consequences of reckless driving. You'll encourage young people to drive safely, to respect the law, to think about others. The prosecutor's office will review it before you post. If they reject it, you'll do it again. And again. Until you get it right. This is a violation of my rights, Trevor says. His voice is getting desperate. High-pitched. This is cruel and unusual punishment. No, it's not. It's accountability. Something you've never experienced before. Something your father should have taught you years ago. Trevor turns to his lawyer. Do something. Object. Appeal. Something. His lawyer just shakes his head. Slowly. Trevor, the judge is within his authority. You're fired, Trevor snaps. You can fire your lawyer, Judge Caprio says. But you can't fire me. And you can't escape this sentence. Trevor turns back to the judge. His eyes are wet now. Actually wet. Tears starting to form. Please. Your Honor. Please. I'm sorry. I'll do better. I promise. Just don't make me do this. It's humiliating. It's supposed to be humiliating. That's the point. You humiliated Mrs. Vasquez. You humiliated Officer Rodriguez. You humiliated this court. You humiliated your father's office. Now you get to feel what that's like. My father won't allow this, Trevor says. But his voice has no power. It's weak. Shaking. Your father has no authority here. This is my courtroom. My decision. And it's final. Judge Caprio leans forward. Trevor, let me ask you something. Do you know why I became a judge? Trevor doesn't answer. I grew up poor. Really poor. My father was a milkman. My mother cleaned houses. We lived in a tiny apartment with my brothers and sisters. 6 people in 3 rooms. We didn't have much. But my parents taught me something valuable. They taught me that respect isn't bought. It's earned. They taught me that how you treat people matters. Especially people who have less than you. Especially people who can't fight back. Judge Caprio's voice gets softer, but not gentle. More like a teacher explaining something important. You've never learned that lesson. Your whole life, you've been told you're special. Important. Better than others. And maybe in some ways you are lucky. Lucky to be born into wealth. Lucky to have opportunities. But luck isn't virtue. Privilege isn't character. And money isn't worth. He points at Trevor. You called yourself different. You're right. You are different. But not the way you think. You're different because you've been shielded from reality. From consequences. From the truth about who you really are. And the truth is this. Without your father's name, without your family's money, without your connections, you're just a scared kid who doesn't know how to treat people with basic human decency. Tears roll down Trevor's face now. Real tears. His shoulders start to shake. I'm not doing this to destroy you, Judge Caprio says. His voice is gentler now. I'm doing this to save you. Because if you keep going the way you're going, someone is going to get killed. Maybe it'll be another Mrs. Vasquez. Maybe it'll be a child crossing the street. Maybe it'll be you when someone finally gets tired of your attitude and does something about it. I'm trying to prevent that. I'm trying to give you a chance to become a better person. But you have to do the work. No one can do it for you. The courtroom is silent. Heavy, like the air weighs 1,000 pounds. There's one more thing, Judge Caprio says. For your behavior in this courtroom today. For threatening me. For showing contempt for this court and the judicial process. I'm holding you in contempt of court. That carries an additional penalty. 30 days in county jail. Trevor's knees buckle. Actually buckle. He grabs the table to keep from falling. No. No, 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 no. Please. Your Honor. Please. Bailiff, take Mr. Blackwood into custody. The bailiff moves forward. He's holding handcuffs. Metal ones. They catch the light. Wait, Trevor begs. Please wait. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean any of it. I was just scared. I was just trying to act tough. Please don't do this. Please. The bailiff reaches for Trevor's wrist. Trevor pulls away. Don't touch me. Sir, you need to turn around and put your hands behind your back. I said don't touch me. Trevor's voice is a scream now. Hi. Panicked. Get away from me. 2 more bailiffs stand up. They move toward Trevor from different angles. Trevor backs up. He's cornered. Trapped. His eyes dart around the room. Looking for an exit. Looking for help. Finding neither. Trevor, his lawyer says quietly. Don't make this worse. Just cooperate. Worse. Trevor laughs. It's a horrible sound. Like something breaking. How can it get worse? He's destroying my life. He's destroying everything. No, Judge Caprio says. You destroyed it yourself. I'm just holding up a mirror so you can see what you did. The bailiffs reach Trevor. One takes his left arm. One takes his right arm. They're gentle but firm. They turn him around. His face is pressed against the defendant's table. The metal handcuffs click around his wrists. First one, then the other. The sound echoes in the silent room. Trevor is sobbing now. Loud, gasping sobs. Like a child. All that confidence. All that arrogance. Gone. Erased. What's left is just a scared kid who finally realized he's not untouchable after all. The bailiffs lift him up. They start walking him toward a side door. The door that leads to the holding cells. Trevor's expensive sneakers drag on the floor. He doesn't want to go, but he doesn't have a choice. "Your Honor," Trevor says. His voice is barely a whisper. "I'm really sorry. I really am. Please believe me." Judge Caprio looks at him. Really looks at him. "Trevor, I do believe you. I believe you're sorry right now. But sorry isn't enough. Sorry is just a word. What matters is what you do next. How you change. Whether you learn. 30 days from now, you'll be released. Then you'll start your community service. Then you'll write your letter. Then you'll make your video. And every single day you'll have a choice. You can be bitter, angry, resentful, or you can use this as an opportunity to become someone better. Someone worthy of the privileges you've been given. That choice is yours. No one else's." The bailiffs open the door. They walk Trevor through it. His head is down. His shoulders are hunched. The orange vest he'll have to wear as a crossing guard won't be much different from a jail uniform he's about to put on. The door closes. The sound is final. Heavy. The courtroom stays silent for a long moment, processing what just happened. Then slowly people start to move, start to whisper, start to breathe again. Judge Caprio looks at the gallery. Let this be a lesson to everyone here. The law applies equally, to the rich and the poor, to the powerful and the powerless, to the connected and the friendless. No one is above it. No one is below it. If you remember nothing else from today, remember that. He bangs his gavel once. This court is adjourned. People stand up. Some are shaking their heads. Some are smiling. Some are crying. Officer Rodriguez stands near the back. His face shows relief, vindication, justice. Outside the courthouse, news cameras are waiting. Word spreads fast. By the afternoon, the video is everywhere. Social media explodes. People share it, comment on it, debate it. Some say Judge Caprio was too harsh. That 30 days in jail is excessive. That public humiliation is cruel. But most people disagree. Most people say it's about time. About time someone held a rich kid accountable. About time privilege didn't equal immunity. About time justice meant justice. At Rhode Island Hospital, Elena Vasquez watches the news from her bed. Her hip is healing. Slowly. She'll need months of physical therapy. Her husband sits beside her, holding her hand. When the reporter describes Trevor's sentence, Elena cries. Not from pain. From relief. From feeling seen. From knowing that what happened to her mattered. That she mattered. At the police station, Officer Rodriguez sits at his desk. His phone rings all day. Other officers calling to congratulate him, to thank him, to tell him they're proud. Chief Blackwood doesn't call. He doesn't come by. He's dealing with his own problems. The prosecutor's office has opened an investigation into witness tampering. His career is hanging by a thread. In county jail, Trevor Blackwood sits on a metal bunk. The mattress is thin. The walls are cinder block. Gray. Cold. His cellmate is a guy named Derek who's in for unpaid child support. Derek doesn't care who Trevor's father is. Derek doesn't care about Trevor's money. Derek just wants to sleep. And he snores. Loud. Trevor lies there staring at the ceiling. His designer clothes are gone, replaced with an orange jumpsuit. His phone is gone. No Instagram. No texts. No escape into the digital world. Just him and his thoughts. And his thoughts are dark. Angry. Scared. Ashamed. He thinks about Mrs. Vasquez in the hospital. He tries not to, but her face keeps appearing. An old woman, just trying to get medicine for her sick husband. And he almost killed her. Because he was in a hurry. Because he thought his time was more valuable than her life. He thinks about Officer Rodriguez, a man just doing his job. And Trevor pushed him, disrespected him, tried to get him punished for following the rules. What kind of person does that? He thinks about his father, calling people, pulling strings, making it worse. Did his dad think he was helping? Did he think Trevor would learn anything from being protected? Or did he just not care? For the first time in his life, Trevor Blackwood is alone with his choices. No money to hide behind. No connections to call. No lawyer to speak for him. Just him. And the consequences of everything he's done. The 30 days crawl by. Each one feels like a month. Trevor doesn't sleep much. The jail is loud. Always loud. Someone's always yelling, always banging on something. The food is terrible. Gray meat, soggy vegetables, bread that tastes like cardboard. He loses weight. His face gets thinner, paler. He has visitors. His mother comes twice. She cries both times. She tells him his father is suspended from work pending the investigation. She tells him the media won't leave them alone. She tells him she loves him. But she doesn't say he didn't deserve this, because they both know he did. His lawyer comes once, to discuss the rest of the sentence. The community service, the letter, the video. Trevor signs papers. He doesn't argue. He doesn't complain. He's too tired, too broken. On day 30, they let him out. 6 in the morning. The sun is just coming up. His mother is waiting in the parking lot. Her car is a Mercedes. It looks obscene here. Shiny and perfect among the concrete and razor wire. Trevor gets in. He doesn't say anything. Neither does she. They drive home in silence. That afternoon, Trevor reports to the police station. Captain Morrison is waiting. He's a big man, muscular, with a face that's seen things. He hands Trevor the orange vest, the stop sign, a schedule. Tomorrow morning, Captain Morrison says. 6:15. Don't be late. And Trevor. Yes, sir. I knew Mrs. Vasquez. She helped my mother when she was sick. Stayed late. Brought her food. Treated her like family. So I'm going to be watching you very carefully. Understand? Yes, sir. Good. See you tomorrow. The next morning, Trevor stands on the corner of Benefit Street and Elmwood Avenue. It's cold. April cold. The kind that gets into your bones. He's wearing jeans and a hoodie under the orange vest. The stop sign feels heavy in his hands. At 6:45, the first car pulls up. A parent dropping off a kid. The kid looks at Trevor. At the vest. At the sign. Trevor holds up the sign. Stops traffic. The kid crosses. Trevor nods at them. They don't nod back. More kids come. More parents. Some recognize him. He can tell. They whisper. Point. One parent takes a picture. Trevor wants to yell at them. To hide. But he doesn't. He just holds the sign. Stops the cars. Helps the kids cross. A little girl with pigtails walks up. She's maybe 7. She looks up at Trevor with big brown eyes. Thank you for helping us, she says. Trevor's throat gets tight. You're welcome. She smiles and skips across the street. Her backpack bounces. She has no idea who he is, what he did. She just sees someone helping her, keeping her safe. Something inside Trevor cracks. Just a little. The first week is torture. His feet hurt. His back hurts. The weather is terrible. Rain. Wind. One morning it snows. Actual snow in April. Trevor stands there in his orange vest. Freezing. Miserable. Wondering how his life got here. But slowly things change. The kids start to recognize him. They wave. They say good morning. They tell him about their days. Their tests. Their birthday parties. Their lost teeth. Trevor finds himself listening. Actually listening. Caring about these tiny humans he's helping cross the street. The parents start to soften too. Some of them. Not all. But some. They nod. Say thank you. One mom brings him coffee on a particularly cold morning. She doesn't say anything. Just hands it to him and drives away. The coffee is hot. Perfect. Trevor almost cries. Mrs. Chun is a crossing guard at the other corner. She's been doing it for 12 years. She watches Trevor. Watches how he interacts with the kids. How he's patient when they're slow. How he high-fives them when they remember to look both ways. One day, she walks over during a break. You're doing good, she says. Thank you, Trevor says. He means it. First week, I thought you'd quit. Thought you'd run. But you didn't. I couldn't. Court order. Sure. But plenty of people violate court orders. They'd rather go back to jail than face the humiliation. You stayed. That says something. Trevor doesn't know what to say. So he says nothing. Keep it up, Mrs. Chin says. And she walks back to her corner. 10 weeks in, Trevor gets a letter. It's hand-delivered by a court officer. Inside is an address. A date. A time. Mrs. Vasquez has agreed to meet with him. Next Tuesday. 2 o'clock. At her home. Trevor's hands shake holding the letter. He's thought about this meeting every day. Dreaded it. What will he say? How can he possibly explain? Apologize? Make it right? He writes the letter. It takes him 3 days. He starts over 11 times. Writes draft after draft. Trying to find the right words. trying to express something real, something true. Finally, he writes from his heart, not his head. He writes about his fear, his shame, his regret. He writes about the kids he's helping now, how they've changed him, how he sees the world differently, how he wishes he could go back and undo everything. But he can't. So all he can do is try to be better, try to deserve the second chance he's been given. Tuesday comes. Trevor takes an Uber to Mrs. Vasquez's house. It's a small house, tidy, with flowers in the front yard. He walks up to the door. His heart is pounding. He rings the doorbell. A man answers. Mr. Vasquez, Elena's husband. He looks at Trevor. His face is hard, closed. You're the one. Yes, sir. She almost didn't agree to this, but Judge Caprio said it was part of your sentence. So here we are. I understand. Thank you for allowing me to come. Mr. Vasquez does a move. If you upset her, if you make her cry, I'm calling the police. Clear? Yes, sir. Very clear. He opens the door wider. Trevor walks in. The house smells like soup. Something with chicken and vegetables. Homey. Warm. Pictures cover the walls. Family photos. Graduations. Weddings. Babies. A whole life captured in frames. Mrs. Vasquez is sitting in the living room, in a recliner. Her leg is elevated. A cane leans against the chair. She looks smaller than Trevor imagined. Fragile. Her hair is gray. Her hands are folded in her lap. She watches him walk in. Her eyes are sharp, intelligent, missing nothing. Mrs. Vasquez, Trevor says. His voice cracks. Thank you for agreeing to see me. She nods once. Sit. He sits on the couch across from her. Mr. Vasquez stands behind his wife's chair, arms crossed, protective. I wrote you a letter, Trevor says. He pulls it from his pocket. It's wrinkled from nervous handling. Would you like me to read it? Yes. Trevor unfolds the paper. His hands shake. He clears his throat, and he reads, Dear Mrs. Vasquez, my name is Trevor Blackwood. I'm the person who almost killed you. I've started this letter 100 times. I've tried to find the perfect words, the right explanation, the best apology. But the truth is, there are no perfect words. There's no explanation that makes what I did okay. And no apology can undo the harm I've caused. His voice wavers. He keeps reading. On March 19th, I was driving too fast. Way too fast. I was thinking about myself, my schedule, my priorities, my life. I wasn't thinking about you, about anyone else, about the fact that my choices could hurt people, kill people. I saw you in the crosswalk and I swerved. I thought that was enough. I thought because I didn't hit you, everything was fine. I was wrong. So wrong. Tears start falling. Trevor doesn't stop. You fell because of me. You broke your hip because of me. You spent days in the hospital because of me. Your husband had to go to a facility because of me. Your life was turned upside down because I was in a hurry. Because I thought I was more important than everyone else on the road. Because I was selfish and reckless and cruel. Mrs. Vasquez's expression doesn't change, but her hands grip the armrests tighter. I've spent the last 3 months as a crossing guard. Every morning and afternoon, I help kids cross the street. The same street where I almost hit you. At first, I hated it. I thought it was humiliating, unfair, too harsh. But now I understand. Judge Caprio was teaching me to see people, to value people, to protect people. Those kids trust me to keep them safe. And I take that seriously. More seriously than I've taken anything in my life. Trevor wipes his eyes. The paper is wet, splotchy, but he keeps reading. I've met parents who work 3 jobs to support their families. I've met kids who walk to school in worn-out shoes because new ones cost too much. I've met people who struggle every day just to survive. And I realize now how easy my life has been, how much I've taken for granted, how little I've appreciated, how badly I've behaved. His voice drops to almost a whisper. Mrs. Vasquez, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve forgiveness. But I want you to know that I'm sorry. Truly deeply sorry. I'm sorry for hurting you, for stealing your health, for costing you money, for making you afraid, for being the kind of person who would do something like that and not immediately see how wrong it was. I'm sorry it took a judge in a jail cell and 3 months in an orange vest to teach me basic human decency. Trevor looks up from the letter, makes eye contact with Mrs. Vasquez. I can't give you back what I took. Your health, your peace of mind, your sense of safety. I can't undo that day. But I can promise you this. I will never drive recklessly again. I will never put someone's life at risk because I'm in a hurry. I will spend the rest of my life trying to be the kind of person who makes the world safer, not more dangerous. That's all I can offer. It's not enough, but it's everything I have. He folds the letter, sets it on the coffee table. Mrs. Vasquez reaches for it. Her hand trembles slightly. She picks it up, reads it herself. Silent, her eyes move across the words. Once, twice, 3 times. Finally, she looks up. You almost killed me. I know. I couldn't sleep for weeks. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw your car coming at me. Heard the engine. Felt myself falling. Over and over. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't pay my medical bills. I know. The restitution. The restitution covers the costs. It doesn't cover the fear, the pain, the months of recovery still ahead. It doesn't cover watching my husband in a nursing facility because I can't take care of him. It doesn't cover any of that. No, you're right. It doesn't. Silence. Long, heavy. But, Mrs. Vasquez says softly, you're here. You wrote this letter. You're doing the work. You're standing on that corner every day. My friend Mariana, her granddaughter goes to Washington Elementary. She's seen you. She says you're kind to the children. Patient. That you stay late when a parent is running behind. That you remember their names. Trevor nods. I try. Why? Why do I try? Yes. Why do you care about those children? Is it because you have to? Because the court said so? Or because you actually care? Trevor thinks about this. Really thinks. At first it was because I had to, but now I care. Those kids didn't do anything to me. They don't deserve to be hurt because someone like me is too important to slow down. They deserve to be safe, protected. And if I can help with that, even a little, then maybe I'm not completely worthless. Mrs. Vasquez studies him. Her eyes search his face, looking for lies, finding none. You're not worthless, Trevor. You made terrible choices, but that doesn't make you worthless. It makes you human, flawed, in need of growth. Thank you, Trevor whispers. I'm not forgiving you, she says firmly. Not yet. Maybe not ever. That's my choice to make. And I'm not ready. I understand. But I'm glad you're learning. I'm glad those children are safe with you. I'm glad you're taking this seriously. She pauses. And I'm glad you didn't kill me. Because despite everything, I still have life left to live. Things to do. People to love. You didn't take that from me. You tried. But you didn't succeed. And I'm grateful for that. Trevor can barely see through his tears. Thank you for meeting with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me a chance to say all this. You're welcome. She hands the letter back. Keep this. Read it when you're tempted to go back to your old ways. Remember how it felt to sit across from someone you hurt. Let that feeling guide you. Trevor takes the letter, folds it carefully, puts it back in his pocket. Over his heart, Mr. Vasquez walks him to the door. My wife is a better person than me, he says quietly. If it was up to me, you'd still be in jail. But she's right. You're trying. Keep trying. Don't stop. I won't. I promise. Promises are easy. Actions are hard. Show us through your actions. I will. Trevor walks back to the car. He sits in the back seat. He cries. Hard. The kind of crying that hurts your chest. That makes it hard to breathe. But it's not just sadness. It's relief. Release. The weight of carrying his guilt without being able to express it had been crushing. Now it's lighter. Not gone, but lighter. The Uber driver doesn't ask questions. Just hands him a tissue and drives. Weeks pass. Trevor finishes his community service. All 300 hours. Captain Morrison signs the final paperwork. You did good, kid, he says. Better than I expected. Thank you, sir. What are you going to do now? Keep showing up. What? I'm going to keep showing up. As a crossing guard. I talked to the school. They said they could use volunteers. So I'm going to keep doing it. A few days a week. Captain Morrison's eyebrows go up. You don't have to. I know, but I want to. Those kids matter. And I'm good at it now. It feels important. Captain Morrison smiles. Actually smiles. Yeah, it is important. Trevor makes his public service announcement. It takes him 8 tries to get it approved. The first few are too stiff, too scripted, too fake. But eventually, he makes one that's real. Raw. Honest. He posts it on all his social media. The same accounts where he used to post champagne and cars. In the video, he's standing on the corner, in his orange vest, with his stop sign. Kids cross behind him. "My name is Trevor Blackwood," he says. 3 months ago, I almost killed someone. An innocent woman. Just trying to cross the street. I was driving way too fast. I thought I was important. Special. Above the rules. I was wrong. Dead wrong. He takes a breath. "I've spent the last 3 months helping kids cross this street. The same street where I almost committed manslaughter. And I've learned something. Rules aren't there to annoy you. They're there to protect people. Speed limits aren't suggestions. They're the difference between life and death. Between someone going home to their family or going to a hospital. Or the morgue." His voice gets stronger. "If you're watching this and you speed, if you text and drive, if you think you're too good for traffic laws, I'm begging you to stop. Because the guilt of hurting someone will destroy you. The memory of their face will haunt you. And no amount of money or connections will make that go away. Trust me. I know." He holds up the stop sign. "Slow down. Pay attention. Value people. It's that simple. And that important." The video goes viral. Really viral. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Most are supportive. Some are cruel. But Trevor doesn't care. He said what he needed to say. He told the truth. That's all he can do. 6 months after his sentencing, there's a review hearing. Trevor returns to Judge Caprio's courtroom. Same room. Same bench. Same judge. But Trevor is different. Completely different. He's wearing simple clothes. Jeans. A button-down shirt. No designer labels. His hair is cut shorter. Neater. His face looks older somehow. Like he's lived more in 6 months than in his entire previous life. Judge Caprio looks at him. "Mr. Blackwood, you're back." "Yes, Your Honor." "How did you complete your sentence?" "I completed all 300 hours of community service. Captain Morrison has the documentation. I wrote and delivered my letter to Mrs. Vasquez. I made and posted the public service announcement. I paid all fines and restitution in full." Judge Caprio reviews the papers in front of him. "I see that. I also see that you've continued to volunteer as a crossing guard. That wasn't required." "No, sir. But it felt right." "Why?" "Because I found something I'm actually good at. Something that matters. Something bigger than me." Judge Caprio nods slowly. "Officer Rodriguez, you're present." Officer Rodriguez stands. "Yes, Your Honor." "Have you had any contact with Mr. Blackwood during his sentence?" "Yes, sir. I supervised him several times during his community service. He was punctual, respectful, hard-working. He followed every rule. I have no complaints." "Thank you." Judge Caprio looks at another person in the gallery. "Mrs. Chun, you're the senior crossing guard at Washington Elementary?" An older Asian woman stands. "Yes, Your Honor." "Your thoughts on Mr. Blackwood?" "He's one of the best volunteers we've had. The children love him. The parents trust him. He's reliable, kind, safe. If you asked me today to recommend someone for a permanent position, I'd recommend him without hesitation." Trevor's eyes widen. He didn't know Mrs. Chun was here. Judge Caprio writes something. "Anyone else wish to speak?" A man stands in the back. Trevor doesn't recognize him. "Your Honor, my name is David Patterson. I don't know Mr. Blackwood personally, but my daughter goes to Washington Elementary. She talks about him all the time. Trevor this, Trevor that. How he remembers her name. How he asks about her day. How he makes her feel safe. I just wanted to say thank you. For helping my kid. For being there." Trevor's throat tightens. "Thank you, sir." Judge Caprio looks at Trevor for a long moment. "Mr. Blackwood, when you first came into my courtroom, I saw a spoiled, arrogant young man who thought he was above the law. Someone who valued his own convenience over other people's lives. Someone who needed to learn a hard lesson. Did you learn it?" "Yes, Your Honor. I learned it." "What did you learn?" Trevor thinks carefully. "I learned that privilege is a responsibility, not a right. I learned that my actions have consequences that ripple out to hurt people I'll never meet. I learned that respect can't be bought or demanded. It has to be earned. And I learned that I was living a worthless life. Not because I'm worthless, but because I wasn't doing anything worth anything. I was just existing, taking up space, consuming. And that's not enough. It's not close to enough." Judge Caprio leans back. What are you going to do with the rest of your life? I'm going back to school. I'm studying education. I want to be a teacher. Maybe a middle school teacher. Teach kids about responsibility, consequences, making good choices. I figure if someone had taught me those things, really taught me, maybe I wouldn't have ended up here. So maybe I can be that person for someone else. That's a good goal. Thank you. And I'm going to keep volunteering. At the school. Maybe other places too. I have time. I have resources. I should use them for something that matters. Judge Caprio nods. He picks up his gavel. Trevor James Blackwood, you have completed all terms of your sentence. You have fulfilled your obligations to this court. Your probation is terminated. You are free to go. Trevor blinks. That's it. That's it. You did the work. You changed. That's all I asked for. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much. Don't thank me. Thank yourself. You did this. Not me. I just gave you the opportunity. You took it. You ran with it. You became someone better. That's all on you. Trevor wipes his eyes. Can I say something? Go ahead. 6 months ago, I hated you. I thought you were cruel, vindictive, out to get me. But you weren't. You were trying to save my life. And you did. I don't know who I'd be right now if you'd just give me a fine and sent me home. But I know I wouldn't be this person. This person who actually cares about something. Who actually does something meaningful. So thank you. For seeing something in me that I couldn't see in myself. For not giving up on me even when I'd given up on me. Thank you. Judge Caprio's eyes are wet. Just a little. You're welcome, Trevor. Now go live a good life. Make it count. I will. I promise. Trevor walks out of the courtroom. His mother is waiting in the hall. She hugs him. Tight. I'm proud of you, she whispers. Thanks, Mom. Outside, the sun is shining. Spring has turned to summer. The trees are full and green. Trevor takes a deep breath. Looks around. The world looks different. Brighter. Fuller. Real. His phone buzzes. A text from Mrs. Chun. Same time tomorrow. He texts back. I'll be there. And he will be. Tomorrow. And the day after. And the day after that. Because he found something worth doing. Something that matters. Something that makes him better than he was. In his office, Judge Caprio files the case away. He thinks about Trevor. About the scared, arrogant kid who came in 6 months ago. And the humble, purposeful young man who just left. It doesn't always work. Sometimes people don't change. Sometimes the lesson doesn't stick. Sometimes they come back. Worse than before. But sometimes, just sometimes, it works. Sometimes a person looks in the mirror and doesn't like what they see. And they do the hard work of becoming someone better. Someone worthy. Someone who adds value to the world instead of taking from it. Those moments make 37 years on the bench worthwhile. Judge Caprio closes the file. Picks up the next one. Another case. Another person. Another opportunity to teach. To guide. To hold accountable. To show mercy. To balance justice with wisdom. He's been doing this for nearly 4 decades. And he'll keep doing it as long as he can. Because every single person who walks through that door is worth the effort. Worth the time. Worth the chance to become better. Even the ones who don't think so. Especially the ones who don't think so. 3 years later, Trevor Blackwood is standing in front of a classroom. 28 middle school students sit at desks. They're loud. Energetic. Testing boundaries. Normal kids being normal kids. Okay, everyone, Trevor says. Let's talk about choices. Every single day, you make thousands of choices. Most are small. What to wear. What to eat. Whether to do your homework. But some choices are bigger. And those big choices, they can change your entire life. A kid in the back raises his hand. Like what? Like whether to drive too fast because you're in a hurry. Like whether to stand up for someone being bullied or walk away. Like whether to cheat on a test or study harder next time. Those choices define who you are. Another kid asks, have you ever made a bad choice? Trevor smiles. I've made a lot of bad choices, but there's one I'll never forget. And he tells them the story. Not to brag, not to shock, but to teach. To show them that consequences are real. That choices matter. That you can come back from mistakes if you're willing to do the work. The kids listen. Really listen. Some take notes. Some just stare. But they're engaged. Learning. Thinking. After class, a girl approaches his desk. Mr. Blackwood. Yes. My brother drives too fast. He thinks it's cool. Can I show him your video? Absolutely. And if he wants to talk about it, I'm here. She smiles. Thanks. Trevor watches her leave. He thinks about Judge Caprio. About that courtroom. About the moment everything changed. About how one person cared enough to see past his behavior to his potential. To give him a consequence that hurt. That humbled. That transformed. He picks up his phone. Calls a number. Judge Caprio's chambers. Hi, this is Trevor Blackwood. I was wondering if the judge has time for a visitor sometime this week. Let me check. Can I ask what this is regarding? Just a follow-up. And a thank you. Hold please. A minute later. He can see you Thursday at 3. Perfect. Thank you. Thursday comes. Trevor walks into the courthouse. Same building. Same halls. But it feels different. Less scary. Less oppressive. Just a place where justice happens. Where people get second chances. Where lives change. Judge Caprio's chambers are lined with books. Law books. History books. Philosophy books. Photos of his family cover his desk. He looks up when Trevor enters. His face breaks into a smile. Trevor Blackwood. Look at you. Judge Caprio. Thank you for seeing me. Of course. Sit. Tell me everything. They talk for an hour. Trevor tells him about school. About teaching. About the kids. About how he's still volunteering. About his life now versus his life then. Judge Caprio listens. Nods. Smiles. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me too. But I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could have. You just needed a push. A push? You sentenced me to jail and 300 hours of humiliation. And it worked. Judge Caprio laughs. Not my proudest moment in terms of mercy. But in terms of effectiveness? Top 5. Trevor laughs too. Well, thank you. For the push. For believing I could be better. For not just throwing me away. That's not what we do here. We don't throw people away. We hold them accountable. We give them tools. We show them the path. But they have to walk it. You walked it. That's all you. They shake hands. Trevor leaves. He drives home carefully. Under the speed limit. Always under the speed limit. He sees a crossing guard helping kids at a corner. He waves. The guard waves back. That night, Trevor sits at his desk. He's grading papers. One of his students wrote an essay about choices. It's good. Really good. The kid gets it. Trevor writes a big A+ at the top. Adds a note. I'm proud of you. Keep making good choices. He leans back. Looks out the window. Stars are starting to come out. The world keeps spinning. People keep making choices. Some good. Some bad. Some that will haunt them. Some that will save them. Trevor made his choice. To change. To grow. To become someone worth being. And every day he chooses it again. Because being better isn't a one-time decision. It's 1,000 tiny decisions. Every day. Forever. But that's okay. He's up for it. Because for the first time in his life, Trevor Blackwood knows what it feels like to matter. To contribute. To make the world a little bit safer. A little bit better. And that feeling is worth more than all the designer clothes and expensive cars and champagne bottles in the world. That feeling is worth everything. Money can buy many things. But it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice is earned. Through accountability. Through change. Through becoming the person you were meant to be all along. Trevor Blackwood learned that lesson. The hard way. The painful way. The humiliating way. But he learned it. And he'll never forget it. Neither will the thousands of people who watched his transformation. Neither will the hundreds of students he'll teach over his career. Neither will the countless kids he'll help cross streets safely. One moment of accountability changed everything. One judge who cared enough to be tough. One sentence that hurt but healed. One chance to become better. That's all it took. That's all it ever takes.